content. Hang on, guys. You're gonna have to bear with me on this one. The internet can totally see now. Awesome. Cool. Hey everybody, it's Matador here doing my first live stream. No idea what I'm doing, incidentally, so I'm just going to start off by just starting off drawing, and then we'll see where it goes from there. So today I'm going to be doing a character from Pokemon Go, actually, and I know it's been all over the place lately. Everybody's been drawing them lately, probably way better than I could do them. But hey, why not? We're going to go ahead and try it. So, like I said, I haven't actually done a stream before, so this is all pretty new to me. This is all very interesting. Hopefully I think it's fun. Hopefully some of you guys enjoy it too, so I'm just going to stop rambling quite as much so I can actually get down to it. I'm a little out of practice, by the way. I'm kind of using this as a way to get a little bit more practice in, because I was an art major, but I was more of a graphic design major, so I kind of left figure drawing by the wayside a few years ago. Graduated a couple years ago, and then I've been really missing drawing. I just have not had the time to draw lately. I haven't made the time to draw lately, more accurately. That's a short-ass leg. How about we fix that? So this is going to be a little bit funky. I just want to warn you beforehand, if you're expecting like some huge, grandiose quality art like a lot of other streamers out there, I'm not quite there yet. I'm working on it, though. I am. I'm making my way to that point, because I feel like I used to be pretty good. Also, let me know if the music's too loud. I'm going to check up on the chat in a second. I have no idea if anybody's even watching this right now. I'd be kind of surprised if anybody was at this point. Just kind of talking to myself, trying to get a little bit more comfortable with things. Let's thin this head out a little bit. I'm using a program called Mischief, if anybody's wondering. Alright. It took a long time to finally get my my music and everything worked out to the point that I could actually hear it, and then I felt like people watching could actually hear it. I'm not going to waste my time with the hair. That's details. Right now I got to set up the main body of things. It's an amateur mistake. Get hung up on the details. Of course, I guess I pretty much am back to the point of being an amateur at this point. It's just been so long since I've been drawing consistently. These proportions seem a little bit funky, but I can fix that in a second. Gotta iron out my pose a little bit first. Gotta get back to having fun with it. Actually pull up a different reference image real quick, just so I can have a decent look at what I'm actually doing. Oh hey, we got one viewer. That's probably me. Probably just talking to myself on that one, but if it's not me, then hi, how are you doing? Okay, cool. Got my image pulled up, let's get back to it. Yeah, I used to draw all the time. I used to have so much fun with it. I still do have fun with it. I'm just like, I'm painfully aware of how out of practice I've become. Like right now, like I have been drawing a little bit over the last few weeks and the last few months, but nowhere near as often as I used to. So it's definitely, I mean, it's kind of like every other thing you do, like riding a bike. You never really forget how to do it, but man, you can get out of practice. It is easy to do. Go ahead and keep zeroing in on my pose here. I want to try to get my anatomy correct. God, it's been so long since I've done this. Just gonna stop yammering about how long it's been and just get busy doing it. Because that's the main thing that I learned, is that if you want to get better, you just gotta do it. Gotta do it until you're better at it. Turn up the music a little bit so you guys can actually have something interesting to listen to. And just let me know if it's too loud or if you can't hear me. I imagine you'll be able to. That does not look good. Let's widen her out a little bit. She's a little bit too diminutive. She looks a bit too much like an anime girl. Some more broad shoulders. Seems like everybody's been playing Pokemon Go lately. Like, my wife and I are definitely into it. But it's so funny because I don't remember the last time that a game had this kind of impact. Or that this many people started playing a game. Like, everyone I know was playing it. everybody on the internet and on Tumblr is talking about it. It's just so crazy because I can't remember the last time anything like that happened. Okay, once again, getting a little bit too hung up on the details. Hey Moxie, it's my dog. Right, this is getting a little bit crazy. Lines are getting a little out of hand. Let's get that taken care of real quick. Alrighty. Get that shoulder up. Let's actually kind of see where her body is angling real quick. There's that. These are hips. This is a trick that I learned a while ago. That was all kinds of wrong, wasn't it? I got that leg a little bit more sorted out. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Alright. I kind of just decided on this pose at the last minute. I'm still not 100% sure I'm committed to it. But at this point I've already started, so might as well keep going. Alright, let's make sure that her hand is in the picture. That's very important. People do need hands. I don't know, I might change this pose. It looks a little bit too demure for what the internet's turned her personality into, which is another thing I think is really funny, that like nothing about these characters' personalities is known yet, and yet the internet's just completely taken these characters and ran with them. It's really funny. Like they just created their entirely, just totally new personalities for them. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try something more like the actual original pose. Taking this back. Kind of take things back to basics here. Sorry, I gotta readjust. Hang on. There we go. Sorry, if you can't tell, I'm on the floor. This is like the best place that I have to set up for a live stream. So let's try this again. Alright. Starting over. Hopefully with something that's a little bit more along the lines of what this character would be like. To make things a little more dynamic. Get a little more flow going. I love how you can never quite peg down my style. Never really... I guess I don't really have one. I kind of have one, but certainly not one that's one that I use all the time. I'm working on it though. Just gonna drive the motion down a little bit. I don't have to use those little arrow annotations, but you know, kind of helps me feel a little bit better. Alright. Cylinder, waist going. Get that leg in place where it needs to be. That might be a little long now that I look at it. Oh, if it is, I'll fix it in a second. On the outside. Do. Definitely doesn't look quite right. Let's try those legs once again. Shall we? Not that far. I'm sorry I'm not saying a whole lot, because like I've said before, this is just kind of a test stream, because I've never done anything live before. I'm hoping to start doing this way more often. I want to start doing it probably like maybe once or twice a week. We'll see. I don't want to bring in requests and everything in if anybody has any. Don't know if I'll have time right now. Like I said, it's just I expect this one to be pretty short, like probably not much more than an hour or so. I don't know what the average is on here. That leg might need to go a little bit shorter. Those both might need to go a little bit shorter. Actually, you know what it does need to do is it needs to go further in. I can anatomy. Anatomy with the best of them. Move this up a little bit. Also, I just kind of had the music on like a random, like best of YouTube royalty free, like glitch hop or whatever it's called. Just one of those videos, so I have no idea what's going to be coming on next. I am not to be held responsible for it. It's kind of like Pogo. I don't think it is, but it kind of sounds like him. Alright. Hopefully this turns out okay. The hips in the picture. Sorry, got my little reference image just pulled up. Pull this down a tiny. There we go. That's better. I feel like Candela will be fairly muscular, so we're going to go with that. It's kind of the definition of her personality type that I've seen people give her so far, and I'm just gonna roll with it. I can move this ankle up a little bit. There we go. Thanks, Moxie. Starting to get a little bit better of a grasp on the pose here. Maybe a little bit I can actually start bringing in some details, some harder lines. You have to ignore my dog making gross noises in the background. This is what she does. I feel like her head might be a little bit small, so let's go ahead and fix that real quick. There we go. Looks a little bit better. There we go. Alright, now I can start bringing in some of the outlines on our clothes. Legs for days, that's the detail. Hello there, viewer number 2. How you doing today? Sorry again about the sketchiness of everything. Still kind of getting back into the swing. Haven't done this in a while. Surprisingly, it feels kind of different doing it in a live stream. Like, the physical drawing itself feels the same. But I don't know, it's a little bit different. It's a little weird, but in a good way. It's fun. Helps me feel more accountable. Maybe I'll actually finish this. I doubt I'll get it colored. I'm proceeding pretty slowly. But hey, you never know. I'm gonna do my damnedest. Right now I'm just happy I'm getting the line art to a decent place. I kind of start bringing in some more of her clothes. I like the character design, she's really cool. It was interesting the way they revealed them initially with just the blank silhouettes. But I like them now. Okay. I wish I had a more detailed reference image pulled up, but I can switch to one in just a second. Is that you watching? Still trying to get it to work out so I can see the chat while I'm doing everything. It's a little bit obscured right now. Also, I know it said it in the... I think it said it in the title. It could have gotten a little bit lost in there, but this is one of the new team leaders from Pokemon Go, actually. I don't know, so like... I follow a lot of artists on Tumblr, and so anytime anything new happens, they just go nuts. And like everybody's been posting art of these characters. I got a little sick of it after a while, but I don't know, kind of won me over. I started enjoying it in the end, and I just think they're neat little designs. So let's see how this will turn out. Raise that a little bit. Make this super dramatic collar. What I'm going to do with this second arm. I'll come back to that in a second, I guess. Something's not quite right here. There we go. That's a little better. More along the lines of what I'm looking for. How's the music right now anyway? It's not too overpowering to the audio of me talking, is it? Is it alright for me to hear? Or alright for you to hear me? Oh, I know this song. I think I've used this in one of my videos before. It is a very thin thigh at the bottom. Let's fix that. That does not look okay. Multiple reference images pulled up from as many angles as possible. Here's a better one. Testing out a few different positions for the arm here. They have her dual wielding Pokeballs. It's like a badass. So yeah, Candela is the leader of Team Valor, which is what I am. Apparently everybody else thinks Team Valor are douchebags. Can't imagine why. I can totally imagine why. It's so weird though, because it's the same thing with, like, I guess it's not quite like Hogwarts houses, but like the only defining characteristics of the teams in Pokemon Go are like just what their leaders prefer, like their methods. Doesn't really say all that much about personality types. People just kind of flock to them, and then when people flock to things, they inevitably start fighting with each other about which one's better. So I just think it's really funny how quickly that happened. suddenly we went from everybody's happy playing, and then within the span of a few days, it's like, what team are you? Oh, I'm Team Mystic. Oh, I hate you. So that was kind of funny. Oh, I've been streaming for 30 minutes already. Look at that. Then let's step on it so I can get some good progress made. Alright. Anybody else out there watching, what team are you guys on? Pokemon Go wise. I cannot decide for the life of me where I want that arm. Let's just have to see what kind of works best. Also, these legs. I gotta do something about this. Jeez. Let's fix this up real quick. Where are we? Oops. Here we are. Zoom out a little bit and fix these leg proportions up. Still not feeling quite right. We got a Team Mystic in the chat. I don't have a whole lot of animosity towards any of the teams. I just think it's cool that everybody's playing, that so many people are playing this game all of a sudden. Because it really did, like, I remember I heard about it when it was in development, like before they even released it. Everybody was talking about it. It was going to be this pretty cool thing. But then it exploded more than I think anybody expected it to. Suddenly everyone is playing it. Alright, maybe let's try with some lines first before I get into anything fancy. You know what? You're just going to go legless. You have no legs now. I gotta start over on that. This is what happens. This is what happens when you get ahead of yourself. Hipster Mermaid is Instinct, the underrepresented team. I like Instinct. I almost picked Instinct. I don't know why there were so few of them. That's weird that it worked out that way. The heel's in place over here. Okay, that looks better. I forget how to draw legs. Try to keep fleshing out some of the overall pose details before I let myself get carried away again and had to start things over. But nobody likes doing that. Actually, I think I might need to bring that skirt a little lower. I think I moved her hip line down without realizing it. Check this out. It is a really good way to start a conversation. We actually I made a Tumblr post about this, but we actually heard somebody walking around outside of our house yesterday, or outside of our apartment yesterday, and he sounded like this really like big dude and big intimidating voice, and I heard him mumbling something loudly and I didn't know what he was talking about. And then all of a sudden I heard him just like start yelling about this Spearow that he just caught, and he was so excited. It was really funny. This is like a grown man, probably in like maybe in his 30s. I don't know. I couldn't tell. But I think he was one of our neighbors, and I couldn't tell which one. But it was so funny because like everybody's been playing it lately. Like everywhere that we've gone, you can see people in like the Pokemon Go pose, just like looking at their phone, kind of pointed down. And not in like a bad way. Like, it's not bad that people are looking at their phone to play it because they're going places. Like, I've been outside a lot more. A lot of people I know have started like, exploring areas around their town a lot more that they've never been to. It's a cool thing. I think it's really neat. It's kind of funny to hear like the local news station talk about it though, because you can tell like only one person there plays it and everybody else there doesn't really know what they're talking about. Liberty with this. It's slightly different from the way it looks in my reference, but screw it. And I dropped my stylus. But screw it, as I was saying, because this is my drawing. I can do what I want with it. Alright, now we're looking better. With legs that don't look like popsicle sticks. So how new have you guys been since you started playing Pokemon Go? You were new in your town that you've explored, because I've been to kind of a few of the old places that I usually would go, like some of the more populated areas. Like there's a really big shopping center not too far from here that's apparently it's just littered with Pokestops, like they're everywhere. But still haven't quite found any good areas in town to find like a super rare Pokemon, because we haven't been like downtown proper just yet. We're in Austin, so it's a bit of a bigger town. And I'm not sure if I want to brave downtown because, for one, don't know if my phone could handle it. It's been, or if Pokemon Go could handle it. It's been kind of giving me issues lately, like I imagine it has with everybody. I guess I will have her dual-wielding Pokeballs, because why not? Whoa. That was weird. Changed colors on me for a second. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. There's one thing I kind of like about live streaming versus recording, because you don't have to feel pressured to talk the whole time. Like, I do like talking. I like making conversation and hearing what some people who are watching and listening have to say. But it's a little different. It's kind of a different thing. You don't have to necessarily talk the whole time, and people don't really expect you to. Like, if I'm ever watching anybody who's live streaming, I don't expect them to talk the whole time, because that's ridiculous. Your voice would be exhausted after doing that. Only reason I mentioned that in the first place is because this is the first full one I've actually done. I want to start doing these more often, just drawing live streams. Help keep me a little bit more accountable to get more art done, because I've been slacking off. I mean, I guess that happens, you know. Graduating college, going out and getting to full-time, part-time contract jobs, all that good stuff. It happens. Life happens, things get away from you. But I want to start doing it more often. Oh man, things are all kinds of weird coming in a little closer. Let's say we streamline this out a little bit. Switch over to maybe a slightly different reference image. Imagine I'll end up changing a lot of details on these eyes later on. Just kind of want to get them in place a little bit and figure out where they are and where they're looking. Do not want her giving me bedroom eyes. It's a little bit too sultry of a look right now. Did not intend to do that. Let's just get the eyes in place first. A little too far there. A little too ambitious with that zoom out. Now we're getting somewhere. Things still look a little bit funky. I think I know what's happening. I think I know how to fix it. That's what I needed to happen. That looks better. just right on this side of the face. I'm going to give this a few more minutes. I said I was originally going to try to go to the hour mark and then see how I felt. So I'm going to try to see if I can throw in some extremely rough line art. Probably not the best of ideas, but we'll see. Never can tell what kind of music you're going to hear when you just set it to random on a stream like this. Alright, well that's the hour mark right there. And it's about as long as I said I was going to go on with this first one. I got a little farther than I thought I would, but not quite as far as I had hoped I would by the time I got into it. I'm going to do another one. You can just, if you want, you can subscribe to my channel to find out when I'm going to do the next one, but I'm sure I will put one up before too long. I'll add it in the description to this video later on, so if you just want to come back to this a little bit later, I'm not going to take it unlisted or anything. But just kind of experimenting, just kind of getting in there and seeing how it felt. Seeing just kind of how my first attempt at a stream went. And also, more importantly, seeing how long it takes me to get things done in here, which a little longer than I thought. So maybe the next one will be a little longer, maybe like an hour and a half or 2 hours to actually get something finished. But thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for joining me on this, and I'll see you guys next time I end up doing one of these. So see all you guys later.